I'm Laura Chandler, the host of the Sacred Stream Radio podcast, and I recently had the pleasure of interviewing Hogarth on the show. So we put together some highlights from the interview for you here. And if you'd like to see the full interview, you can pop over to the Sacred Stream YouTube channel and view it there. Or if you prefer to listen, you can download the audio version anywhere you get your podcasts. So I hope you'll join us for what was a fun and lively repartee.
I really enjoy your channel, and I'm wondering when you started it and what made you decide to start the channel.
Oh, good question. Good question. All right, I'll try and keep the story as brief as I can. So, in terms of my journey with astrology, and hopefully this is not preceding another question you may have, but my interest in astrology began when I was about 8 years old. And I realized it was all linked with, mythology, particularly the Greek and Roman mythology and the planets, etc. So that was really when the sort of the seed germinated. And increasingly, as time had gone on, I'd done more and more astrological consultations. So I would be managing a conference at King's Place for, say, like maybe 500 people or something like that. And I would have the members of staff coming up to me, many of whom were artists and actors, and they'll be saying, when's my next audition? Who should I date? This, that, and the other. So I would be on the floor managing the clients and managing my front of house staff, telling them where to go and doing readings for them at the same time. I said, listen, guys, I said 2019 may be intense now, but I said 2020 is going to be so unusual, so strange, almost apocalyptic. I said, I don't know what it is exactly, but I said the average 9 to 5 will be thrown out the window. That's what I said. So I said to everyone, get extra jobs. I don't know what's going to happen, but get ready. Yeah, because I could see the alignments coming.
I want to ask you about the kind of astrology you do. You're a Neo-Vedic astrologer. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Great question. Yes. So just to give a little bit of background, so Vedic astrology is a strand of Indian astrology, which is like a kind of a trifecta, a holy trinity of kind of ideas and principles. Now, I know this might be a touch point for some people because people are like, well, astrology is not a science. But Vedic astrology, I would say, is the closest. Mm-hmm. Because when I've got an accurate birth time, and I look at the planets, because I'm always saying planets are people in Vedic astrology, then it's so accurate. Mm. So what I do is I take the traditional 5,000-year-old Vedic astrology and I add in the outer planets, mm-hmm. which are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Mm-hmm. And I also include the asteroid Chiron, and I also include Ceres, mm-hmm. who is sort of like a planetoid asteroid. And her orbit goes between Mars and Jupiter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I've found is now traditional Vedic astrology, they did know about the outer planets, but they didn't include them as part of the canon.
Right.
But they understood that there were those effects. But I do include the outer planets because they are so profound and they reveal often these unusual, unplanned for, or extra depth and resonance to people's mm-hmm. lives that wouldn't necessarily be covered by traditional Vedic astrology. So when you combine all those factors together, mm-hmm. it's just been awesome. So that, I hope, explains how that energy works.
Very helpful. And so just to clarify, the outer planets, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, is what your reading of them is what makes you a Neo-Vedic astrologer as opposed to just a traditional Vedic astrologer that does not read those outer planets.
Indeed.
Can you talk just a little bit about the difference between Vedic astrology and Western astrology? Because they are very different.
So out of a 30-degree portion of sky, the stars by precession have been moving backwards, or maybe I'll do it this way because this will be in reverse in the video. So they've moved backwards by almost 24 degrees out of 30. So that means anyone that is their star sign is Aries, for example, in Western Tropical, they're probably a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
The overlap is only 6 degrees. If they are late Aries and you take it back, they will still be in Aries, but most people actually drop back into the sign before. So the vast majority of people that are Aries sun sign are actually Pisces sun sign. What normally happens is that, and particularly as well, and it's so funny because I should take a photograph each time it happens, because you can imagine the shock for people who for years and years have identified as Virgos, and then it goes back and they realize that they're Leos. And you know what? They all do the same thing. They all go, oh my God. And they do a big flick of their mane-like hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do realize that is the typical Leo response, yeah? Because they all come to me like, they all come to me and they think they're Virgos, and I see them. The hair is out there like this, all glossy and shiny, and they think they're these sweet little Virgos. And when I reveal to them that they're Leos, it's hilarious.
What other predictions have you made that you mentioned that the pandemic, you saw something coming, and what other predictions stand out for you?
In the USA chart, Pluto and Ketu in the same house. And what's happened here is it's taken Pluto about 200, almost 250 years to come back to the same place. When Pluto entered on the 1st of January, 2021, that was your insurrection. Yeah.
Wow.
That was it. That's what I was predicting. That's what I said. Get ready, everyone. Yeah. Energetically, psychically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, America is going through this extraordinary birthing process of breakdown and transformation all at the same time. And this is why it feels so intense. We've got the midterms coming up in November, and guess what? There's going to be a full lunar eclipse on the 8th of November.
Oh my gosh.
On the exact same day of the midterms.
Oh man.
Yeah, get your popcorn ready.